the writer of that story or the editor at the time are still at the paper. Ramos turned up at 2:30 this afternoon and got in by shooting out the glass doors of the newsroom. Police arrived within minutes, but still not soon enough to stop yet another massacre.
All units limit your transmissions. Do we have any kind of intel on our shooter? I put up with the ponytail.
Terrified reporters and writers ducked for cover. Crime reporter Phil Davis tweeted, "There was nothing more terrifying than hearing multiple people get shot while you're under your desk and then hear the gunman reload." The mayor of Annapolis is Australian Gavin Buckley from Perth, elected late last year and now facing a terrible tragedy in his adopted hometown.
I want to commend our first responders for getting onto the scene as quickly as they did, and if they were not there as quickly as they did, it could have been a lot worse.
By the time the killer was overpowered, 5 people, all newsroom employees, were dead. The victims included feature writer Wendy Winters and columnist Rob Hyacinth. Rob's brother Carl saying on Facebook today he spent his whole gifted career as a journalist and he believed profoundly in the craft and the mission of serving the public's right to know.
The police came through, knocking on our door, grabbing the door, and then checking to make sure we are okay. And the next thing you know, he's like, "You need to get out, you need to get out."
The killer was eventually discovered hiding under a desk after leaving the gun in another part of the office. The staff of the Gazette say they're not deterred. And tonight are back at work, promising the Capital Gazette will be published as usual tomorrow, but sadly with a front page that will tell their very own tragic story. In the United States, Robert Penfold, NBN News.
It was the vicious end to a turf war. A teenage gang associate sprayed with bullets in a Sydney car park. Today, the drug dealer behind the cold-blooded killing was jailed for at least 2 decades.
A young drug dealer turned executioner. Now 28-year-old Joseph Gatt is staring down the barrel of 28 years behind bars. Jailed for murdering Basil Hijazi, an 18-year-old whose luck ran out 2 weeks after he survived another shooting.
You have no right to take any life. That was my son's life you took.
Hannah Hijazi was inconsolable after the death of her son in 2013. Today she put on a brave face as she faced his killer for the final time. The court told Gatt and George Borg scoped out the Bexley car park after hearing Mr Hijazi was there with friends. Without a word, one of them fired 7 shots. 2 struck Mr Hijazi in the neck and chest.
This deliberate shooting in a public car park was inherently dangerous to anyone else in the vicinity.
While she also found the victim was targeted because of an ongoing dispute which included another drive-by and a punch-up, other details will remain a mystery.
We'll probably never know who fired those fatal shots. Justice Smith said she couldn't be sure whether it was Borg or Gatt, but what mattered was they agreed to carry out the cold-blooded execution.
Mrs Hijazi appeared relieved as her son's killer was led away, his accomplice already serving a maximum sentence of just over 16 years. Gatt touched his heart and looked at his family. He'll be eligible for parole in 2040. Kelly Fedor, NBN News.
A Chinese actor, described by his lawyer as the Hugh Jackman of his country, is set to be released on bail accused of sexual assault in Sydney. But that freedom comes with a multi-million-dollar price tag. Yung Zhang Gao has put up more than $3 million in surety and will be fitted with an electronic tracker as he awaits trial. The actor's court appearance in Sydney captured the attention of Chinese media, with his superstar wife also there for the hearing.
Just days out from the school holidays, the travel plans of thousands of Australians are in disarray after Bali's Mount Agung volcano erupted yet again. The island's main airport has since reopened, but the backlog of flights is expected to take days to clear.
Even in the dark, it looks threatening. A red-rimmed Mount Agung heaving, a column of smoke skywards. Clouds of ash, too risky for planes to fly, so Denpasar Airport shut down.
It's a bit annoying, like we haven't really heard what's happening and yeah, we're just kind of stuck here.
Stranded Australians were helped by government officials after dozens of flights home were cancelled. which left passengers temporarily without a ride and without a clue.
We came down here to try and rebook our flights for whenever we can leave Bali, whether that's tonight, tomorrow, or the next day. Who knows?
We haven't really been told when the flights are getting rebooked or anything, so we're kind of just sitting here waiting.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, but it's alright. We're up in Tangs and we'll be good.
For Perth bride Katrina Curtis, it's not just a frustrating wait, but a nervy one. She's getting married in Bali on Wednesday and hopes to be there.
I'm having some heart palpitations right now, but we should get through it.
But this afternoon, a wind change. So Agung lost its puff and Denpasar reopened. Qantas and Jetstar have rescheduled Australian-based flights to take off this evening, while Virgin may resume service tomorrow. But clearing the backlog could mean delays and even later arrivals to those Bali beaches. Peter Stefanovic, NBN News.
9 new anti-submarine frigates will be built for the Australian Navy as part of a sweeping military upgrade. The project sparked a battle between other countries as they fought for the multi-billion-dollar contract to make them.
Malcolm Turnbull with enough senior ministers and military brass to sink a battleship.
Got lots of work for you to do.
Launching the biggest peacetime building project in our naval history. A $35 billion contract, 4,000 jobs, 9 of the world's most advanced anti-submarine frigates at $4 billion each.
The ships the Royal Australian Navy needs to keep our nation safe and secure.
British giant BAE Systems has won the contract and Adelaide the right to build the Hunter class.